Hi guys and welcome back. Today we start a new tutorial series where we talk about the production troubleshooting. We will not only show you the issues and their solution, we will explain you why they are happening. At the end of the day, you will get the strong understanding of these issues. What's new about this tutorial series, we also have now the news section. And today in this news section, we have a surprise for you. But first thing first, let's start with the first topic. The first topic is your RBD simulation is slow. And here's the real reason. We will now talk about the mistake number one. The mistake number one is wrong collision type. Now I show you where you can find and set your collision type, and we talk about the issues by the wrong collision type. As you see here, I'm using the very simple setup. I download the statue model. I use Voronoi fracture to fracture this, and I already cached all packed objects here, and now you can see the pieces. If you jump inside this dot network, we're using here RBD packed object and also rigid body solver. To see the collision and set it up, we have to just click on the RBD packed object, and under Bullet data, because the rigid body solver used the Bullet data, you'll be able to see our geometry and also here show guide geometry. What the difference between these two, this guy is only for representing the final result. But this one is showing you the right collision type. And you see this collision type is kind of low risk, and you will not be able to work with this collision type if you have a close-ups. You see here, you can set your collision type to kind of different collision types. For example, now we have concave, and you will see now we will get kind of very detailed collision type. But I will show you now, it will really slow down your simulation. Okay, let's see the frame per second. First with convex hull, with this type. I just turn it off. And let's see the frame rate. By the way, if you want to see this frame rate here, you have to press D in a viewport, and under visualize, or sorry, guides, you have to activate this draw time FPS. Now let's click on this to play our simulation. And you see we have about 1.867 frame per second. Now what I like to do, I like to change this collision type to concave. Now I click to simulate. It will take a long time to simulate. I just stop my recording and go back and show you the frame rate. Okay, after a while, you see guys, we have 3.1 frame per minute. Now you see how this method slowed down your simulation. Now we saw that the concave type slowed down our simulation. Now the question is why the Houdini people put this collision type here, and also how can I just simulate my object with a proper collision and also quick. We will talk about this topic in upcoming tutorial when I show you the production ready setup, and also I explain when and where and why you can use the other collision type. But this is for the follow-up tutorial, the Houdini collision mistakes you wish you knew earlier, where I will talk about almost everything what you have to know about the collision. Now let's just jump to the mistake number 2. The mistake number 2 is collision guide geometry is unable. Now let's see how it can slow down our simulation. We already simulate our object and we got about 1.9 frame per second. Now what I like to do, I just show my guide geometry, because this guy is very, very good to troubleshooting and looking at the real self-collision geometry. But if I try to simulate it this way, you will see it will really slow down our simulation. Now we have about 21 frame per minute. Okay. Never turn it on. You can turn it on for a couple frames to see kind of issues here or to see how to self-collision looks like, but turn it off during the simulation. Now let's jump to mistake number 3. The mistake number 3 is simulating the wrong geometry. When you simulate high-res geometry or render geometry instead of the simulation mesh. You see here we have our high-res geometry. We have about 3.25 million points here. And even I pack it, you see as a packed geometry, I have 116 points, the same that I have in optimized version, but still Houdini have to handle this amount of geometry. That's why it will slow down the simulation. You see now I use, instead of this network, the optimized one, I use the high-res rendering one, and I just send it for simulation. Let's just jump in and resimulate it, and we'll see at the frame rate here. You see, our frame rate will be about 29 or 30 frames per minute. Because the Houdini have to handle this all high-res geometry in the background. That means you have to use your optimized geometry for collision or for simulation, and at the end of the day, you will render your rendered geometry. Now the question is how I can transfer my low-res simulation to high-res one or to high-res mesh. This is actually very simple. You can use here the points representing the simulation or low-res simulation, and then just use the transform pieces to move the render geometry with the low-res optimized simulation mesh. But I will talk about this in details in upcoming tutorial, where we'll talk about the collisions here. I show you how to create this setup. Okay, now jump to the mistake number. Oh, we have no number anymore. Okay, this was the last mistake. I like to just take a look on this point here, because this is very important. Let's see what we have here. If your RBD simulation is slow, it is usually not Houdini, it is your setup. The question is, what is slow and what is quick? If you have very complicated setup with big amount of polygons and you like to simulate it, you still, even with optimized geometry, you will still wait for hours, for days to be able to simulate this setup. That means that simulation time is relative. But what we have to do is to optimize our scene this way that the simulation runs quicker. Now guys, it's time for news. As already mentioned at the beginning, Our big news now is we finally open our school. If you are interested in our production-driven education, visit our website at www.3d-uni.com, and I'll be happy to see you there. Now guys, about surprise. I already mentioned it before. This is the second news. Every Friday we have a gift day, and we'll give you something that you can use in your production. Totally free. And it will be a link that you can download it on YouTube in the description. This link will stay for 3 days, and after, if you still wish it or you still like to have it, you can get it on our Patreon page. Okay, next Friday you will get this digital asset that will create procedurally a snow on every object that you put as a source. This is how it looked like already rendered in Substance Painter with the proper textures or proper shader. And this is how it's looked like in Houdini. It's totally procedural because you can, I show you the object 2 here, you will see it here. And you see it's procedurally create the snow, create automatically already the UVs, and you have here all the settings you can change. For example, I can change the direction here. For example, you see this arrow will represent the direction. I just change the direction. You see now it's changing direction of the snow. You have another attributes for shape of the snow. You can apply noise. Then you can reduce your geometry amount, and also you have a visualization here. You can just show only snow, or you can snow arrow or only arrow here. Okay guys, then if you're interested in to get this digital asset, just be on a YouTube on a Friday and just download it. Tutorial every Tuesday, and the next one, this guy here, the Houdini collision mistakes you wish you knew earlier, it will come and coming Tuesday, and I'll see you there. Bye.